Close your eyes, Cub fans. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine a team that's so strong willed, so determined, and so viral, that it can have a 10-game win streak. And within that 10-game win streak, they can have three consecutive walk-off wins. Three consecutive walk-off wins. Now, I want you to imagine that same team within the same month lose eight straight games. Eight straight games in which they've been outscored 51 to 23. 47 hits in those eight straight losses. You have a 6-game home stand and you lose every single effing game. 6 games at home and you lose all six after winning 15 straight at home. Who exactly are the friendly confines friendly to? It ain't the Cubs. The Cubs are not defending home field right now. The Cubs ain't doing much of anything right now other than losing. They were on a 15-game winning streak. They were one of the best. They did have the best record in the major leagues at one point during that last 10-game win streak. They were strong-willed. They were determined. They were viral. Now they are limp. Now they are flaccid. Now they are defeated. I would have more sexual innuendo puns, but I don't think the Cubs are worth it right now. 47 hits through 8 games is under 6 hits a game. You can't manage 6 hits. You can't manage more than 6 hits a game. In any stretch during the season, you are going to lose majority of those games. You are going to lose a lot of games in this version of the Major League Baseball if you cannot be anything better than 6 hits. The offensive slump for the Cubs is not something that we haven't seen before. You know exactly where this is coming from. The Cubs cannot, for anything to save their life, they're just struggling in situational hitting. And even when the Cubs are running off 10 games straight here and 10 games straight there, 2 separate 10-game winning streaks, they were still a very curious team when it comes to situational hitting. The first game of this series against the Houston Astros, they went 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They left 11 men on base. That's not just one game and one game outlier. They've done it multiple times in the stretch when they failed to even get a single runner into scoring position for the entire game. If one of these games during this 8-game losing streak, they had two hits total. 2 hits total. In today's game, that completed the second straight sweep before for this team. Second straight time this team was swept, mind you. They had no hits from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th innings. 4 straight innings with no hits for a pitcher that couldn't even find the strike zone. They for some reason they can't figure out how to force this guy into giving them a can of corn over the plate so they can drive some runs in. Now, anyone from 1st through 9th in the batting order, just abysmal kind of performance. And the lack of being able to hit in situational spots is just one point. The veterans on the squad, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, Dansby Swanson, they're all in slumps right now. Ian Happ, I think he struck out 30 times in the last 10 games. Some that number's that I might be overstretching that number, but it's damn near close. But it's damn close. He is a strikeout magnet right now. And and it's not even from swinging at things in the dirt. He'll sit the bat on his shoulders and just let the strike go right down the middle of the plate, and then walk back lazily to the clubhouse. Like, bro, thanks for playing. You might as well just stay in left field, like, because we're not paying you to swing, obviously. Craig Counsell, he's got no answers. He just looks like a guy with just whatever, filling out the lineup card, and he's going out there and chewing on sunflower seeds. You can't prove to me that he's doing anything other than just that. He probably is. I will hope so for $8 million a year, but you can't prove it. Most overrated coach, manager, in the major leagues. Most overpaid manager in the major leagues. Cubs have consistently fallen in the early holes during this losing streak. In fact, if you go back past the 8-game losing streak, let's take it back to 13 games. Even when this first started, when the Cubs were on that road trip following their 10-game win streak, 54% of the team's plate appearances occurred while the team was trailing. Every game during this series against the Houston Astros got on the board first. They are playing behind on a constant basis, and it's forcing the offense into a situation that they can't be successful in because the offense can barely drum up any offense, whether they're up or down. It's glaring that this occurred. It's glaring that this is even on display against a team like the Houston Astros, a team that is probably, at least on paper, got the worst pitching staff in all of baseball. When I previewed this series on the last episode, I said the Cubs should be able to break out of this slump against the Houston Astros because their pitching and their offense is not conducive to winning a series. Not only did they win the series, they swept. And primarily in most of the games, I didn't feel like the Cubs even was in a position to even pinch the bitch. It is horrible right now at Wrigley. At one point during that last winning streak for the Cubs, they had the best record in baseball. The Cubs started this homestand in first place in the division. Now they're half a game in front of Arizona for the last wild card spot. We are in Memorial Day weekend. We can officially no longer use an excuse that it's still early. That time's passed. It's no longer early. We are at the unofficial third of the season checkpoint. Just like in the NBA, where you use Christmas as that official checkpoint for where we're at, where we're going. This is where that is in baseball. You've played over 50 games of the season. The sample size is large enough. You can't blame early season slumps anymore. You damn sure can't blame cold weather or bad weather for why you can't get going. The weather's beautiful outside. You can't use any more excuses. Like I said, the sample size is large enough. This is who they are. This team needs a change, and I'm almost certain that change that they need is not in this clubhouse. This particular series against the Houston Astros, the Cubs did lose all 3 games, bringing their record to 29-24 on the season. They have had 29 wins for a very long time. Everybody else in the majors, it seems like they got their 30th a long time ago. The Cubs are still sitting at 29. Game 1 of this series, the Cubs lost 4-2. The Cubs dropped. That was the 6th straight loss in a row for this team. highly frustrating offensive performance. They drew 5 walks and only got 4 hits on the team. Like I said, they went over 9 with runners in scoring position and left 11 men on base in this game. Completely forgetting that the object of the game is to score runs. Jameson Taillon, the major league leader in home runs given up, he only lasted 4 2/3 of this game. He allowed 4 runs on 8 hits and gave up another home run. As you know, if you are a DraftKings person or a FanDuel, wherever you wet your beak, if you are into sports betting, if Jameson Taillon's pitching, go ahead and put the over on home runs. Free money. Pete Crow Armstrong was the lone guy on for the Cubs to get offensive in this game. He broke out of his little mini slump. He hit a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. That was about it for that game. Game 2, the Cubs lost 3-0. It was the second time the Cubs were shut out during this homestand. They only got 3 hits during this game. Starter K.Y. Ting and the 3 relievers that Houston Astros used, they kept the Cubs silent all game. Christian Walker, he was the MVP of this series. He did more damage to the Cubs by himself than I think any of the Cubs did to themselves. He was a demon in this game. He attributed for 2. He had 2 home runs in this game. He hit another one today. We had another RBI, a few RBIs today. I don't know how you let one player destroy you like this. You hear the term Cub killer. You hear that term quite often, but in this day and age, that's not acceptable, especially for a team. Again, the Houston Astros came into this series terrible, one of the worst teams offensively and pitching wise that the majors had to offer. They only had one real player, Yordan Alvarez, and he wasn't even starting the show. Jose Altuve's hurt. You only have one guy to worry about, and you let other people beat you upside the head. Ridiculous. Colin Ray, he did pitch well in this game, but the criticism really is going to lie with Craig Counsell and his inability to get things shaken up on this lineup. I mean, the lineup just continues to be ridiculously bad. Today's game, the Cubs lost 8-5. The Cubs did finally score some runs. They took the lead for the first time in this series. In the 2nd inning, they had a 3-run second inning and ended up having a 3-1 score of the game because, the Cubs have to fall behind early. They just have to. It's in their DNA right now. They have forced Phil Lambert into 54 pitches at the end of the 2nd inning. 2 highly stressful innings back to back. You figure that the Cubs are going to not get swept. They're going to get this 3rd game and salvage something from this homestand. Like I said earlier, Phil Lambert didn't give up a single hit the rest of the way he was there. He did not get chased out this game. The Cubs, that was it for their offensive potency, was the 2nd inning. That was it for them. They got 2 more runs in the bottom of the 8th off of Michael Busch home run, 2-run home run for Michael Busch. That was it. This type of refusal to just get something done or shake something up from Craig Counsell. I don't want to say refusal. I don't know that he's just refusing to. He's just stuck in his ways and anything like that. But it is really concerning that every day is the same thing, and day in and day out. You can't get any hits, you can't score any runs. You're making errors in the field. You're getting thrown out trying to bring singles make singles in the doubles. I don't know where to go from here. It's very concerning, and with a third of the season down, you start to wonder, like, how soon do you need to make a trade? Who's out there if you can bring in to help this squad? And are you even in the buyer's market? Will you be selling? That's something crazy to even consider, the fact that at one point, not too long ago, you had the best record in the majors. You're still 5 games over 500, half game up over the Diamondbacks for the last wild card spot. But the way this team is trending, it is not something that you can just throw away. Need to figure some things out. Jed, Carter, I don't care about next year. Figure some things out for now, this year. Wasn't no MVPs. Pete Crow Armstrong really got out of his slump. Michael Busch is still, he's carrying his load, no diddy, for this team offensively. After starting the season very bad, he had an 0 for 30 streak at one point, but he's turned it around for the most part. But it's not enough with no one else around him doing anything else to save their life. Coming up for the Cubs, this homestand is now over. They will be one of the feature teams for Memorial Day, playing Memorial Day baseball. They were supposed to be hosted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in a primetime game tomorrow. That time has since been changed. It is now a day game, probably because they say, you know what, the Cubs are not worth that right now. 4 games set in Pittsburgh is the next thing they got cooking for the Cubs, and then they go over to St. Louis, Busch Stadium. Tarpoff boys for a 3-game set with the Cardinals to close May. Past that, the Cubs do have some opportunity to get the stink off of them. Starting off June, Athletics 3 games, Giants 3 games, Rockies 3 games. Shout out to good buddy Chris Bryant. Giants for another 3 games, and the Rockies for another 3 games before you see the Toronto Blue Jays for Father's Day weekend. Juneteenth weekend. It's an opportunity to get rolling, to start to get in the groove for the second part of this season. Hopefully they do that. Hopefully we look back at this point of the season in a few weeks and say, hey, that was just a bump in the road, a little minor speed bump, had to change our tires, but now we good. We rolling. We going them Pirellis now. Hope so. Because an 8-game losing streak, it has the tendency to stick with you. And if we're going to get that stink off us, we gotta not do what we did against the Houston Astros and not capitalize on a bad team. We're going to have to capitalize. We're going to have to actually start scoring some runs. And Craig, you're going to actually have to start earning your money. Let's go, Cubs. Fly to W. Appreciate you tapping into this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Don't matter if you was watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with everybody on the block, and hit the notification bell so you never miss none of our daily drops. And to all the guys from the Chi, we say 3 things. Bear down, fly to W, and sell the team, Jerry.